Hey everyone, Chef Jean-Paul Bourgeois here in the Louisiana Cooking Test Kitchen, your authority for all things great out the Bayou State. Today, I'm making Corn Maque Choux, a Cajun classic that can be seen at church potlucks, your grandma's Sunday lunch, or maybe even a really fancy restaurant in New Orleans. This dish goes everywhere from side dishes to main dishes, and I'm gonna show you how to make it today. So obviously, corn is a main ingredient in Corn Maque Choux, and you want to make sure you have the freshest corn possible, especially if it's coming in season. Go ahead and buy that corn on the cob, and I'm going to show you how to work with that in a little bit later. But I do want to touch on tasso ham. Now, classically, tasso ham is the main kind of meat or protein in this dish. If you can't find tasso ham, you can use just a smoked ham from your deli. You can use bacon. You can use smoked sausage. Really, you just want to find that good, smoky, salty meat product. And classically, it's tasso ham. You can get this from a lot of different butcher shops or meat markets throughout Louisiana. They'll even mail it to you, for a price, of course. But tasso ham is classic, and essentially what it is, it's a cured, spicy, not spicy, but spiced, usually from the shoulder, sometimes from the actual ham section. I like to make it from the shoulder, has a little bit more intermuscular fat and a little more fat cap that you can render down and really add flavor to your maque choux. But like I said, you can really use even your most classic type of ham. You can see how I have that cured ham right here, and then also a nice soft white fat that's gonna be able to render and give me some more like flavorful grease there. I'm gonna use butter as kind of my fat to start off with. And I just wanna kind of dice this ham very simply. I'm gonna cut it down a little bit. You can see this is a little bit more lean section of that tasso ham, and that's what you're gonna get. Not all parts of the tasso ham is gonna look exactly the same, and that's okay. Just give it a nice little kind of medium dice there. And while I'm dicing that ham, I'm just gonna put some butter, I got about a half a stick of butter here, into this pot, and I'm gonna get it starting to warm up. And that butter is gonna stay in there, really like making this dish. I'm just gonna put it on low to get it starting to melt. Making this dish, everything's gonna stay in this pot, and I'm just building. You've heard me say this a number of times when it comes to Cajun cooking and cooking of just in general South Louisiana. It's one pot style cooking, which means you start with a foundation like this butter and tasso and just build until that dish has come to its like final form and it's perfect. I'm gonna keep breaking down this tasso ham. This is about 10, 12 ounces, and we got about 4 ears of corn, 5 ears of corn that's already shucked there. And that's what we're gonna use for this recipe. Of course, this probably, easily feeds. A lot of times you see maque choux as a side dish for steak, fish, whatever, but it can easily be made into a meal, especially you got all these kind of great vegetables in there. It's fresh. You got your protein from your tasso. I'm going to add chicken stock in there, kind of enforcing just more protein in that dish. And you eat that over some steamed white rice, and you got a meal there. And yep, you've heard me say that a number of times too, as we do eat a lot of rice in South Louisiana. We like our vegetables, whether that's maque choux or smothered green beans or something, right on top of rice. It makes for a one-pot meal, or it can be a great side dish, like I said. So we have the butter melting. Just let that do its thing. I'm gonna move that tasso over. That's gonna be my first thing into the pot. I'm gonna say it again. We're building this one pot cooking method. We're starting with the butter and tasso. We wanna make sure we get that tasso rendered and roasted. That's gonna form the base to our cooking, to this maque choux. It's gonna be the base to our maque choux. And it's just kind of important to really draw out as much flavor as we can from that tasso ham. While that butter melts, I'm gonna show you just how I like to shuck corn. Now, one thing you can do is grab a plate like this, nice little ledge on the outside. It keeps your kernels from just like flying all over the place. Make sure you have that cob cut flat right here. So when you come to this method right here, then I'm just easily just pulling off that cob. Now I want to get as close to the cob as possible without getting the really fibrous parts. I don't want to leave too much kernel in there because that kernel has all the good, you know, corn milk and corn juice and all that flavor in there. So I'm going to try to get it as close to that cob as possible without getting to that fibrous part. And I'm going to set that cob aside. Now, that cob is not garbage right here. This can be made into corn stock, and I'm going to show you how to do that in a little bit. It's super easy, but for right now, I'm just going to keep on removing those kernels from this cob. All right, so like I said, if you put that on the cutting board, those kernels might go all over the place, and you're going to be kind of scooping them up with your hand or with your bin scraper, but put them on a plate like that, and those kernels kind of stay nice and contained like so. Now, I can hear my butter getting hot. And very simply here, I'm just going to add this tasso to that butter. I'm going to turn it to about medium-high heat. I got a full melt there, and I'm just going to add that tasso in and kind of slowly start to render that tasso in that butter. I'm going to kick it up a little bit, start to get that fire nice and hot. So I want to really activate that fat, soften that fat into that pan. All right, guys, let's talk about corn stock. Now, in the simplest form, it's corn cobs, kernels removed, and water. I'm gonna add 1 whole onion, 1 whole garlic, and 2 bay leaves to my corn stock. The reason why you wanna do this, still a lot of flavor right here. As you go about your months, kind of getting into the year, once you've made this corn stock, you can use this thing for corn stock for vegetable soup, shrimp and corn soup, maybe more maque choux. This would make a great stock instead of chicken stock to add back into your corn maque choux, just to kind of fortify that corn flavor a little bit. A lot of great uses for this. So all I'm gonna do is add these 3 corn cobs into this pot of water. I got 2 bay leaves here. I'm gonna cut this. I'm gonna strain all this out at, you know, after about an hour of cooking, so I'm not worried about all the garlic kind of paper and, what do you call them? Garlic skins? Not worried about the garlic skins right there. Then just 1 yellow onion. Very simply, again, this is stock. This is not any, you know, you don't need any big knife skills to make, but it really is a great little, recipe and thing to have in your freezer or in your fridge for all the different recipes, all the different cooking kind of meals that you're going to prepare throughout the year. Not only that, but if you have some, like if you save vegetables in the freezer like I do, like celery trim, onion trim, garlic trim, carrot trim, and so on, I save all that in my freezer. So when I go and make stock, I can kind of utilize that right out of my freezer as well. And this is a good, when you're piling up vegetables in your freezer, using for stock, and you got some fresh corn cobs, this is a good opportunity to kind of use that up. So I got my corn cobs, onion, garlic, and bay leaf into a pot with water. I'm gonna turn that pot on. We're gonna get that to a boil. Once it comes up to a boil, we're gonna lower it to a simmer. It's gonna cook for about an hour before we strain it out, and then we can put that up in the freezer. All right, our tasso is looking good. And if I go to my pot here, I can see that my fat has almost doubled or tripled from just that half a stick of butter that I put in there. I'm not gonna remove any of that fat. It's gonna go a long way of kind of creating the sauce of this maque choux. And as you can tell, that if I pick this tasso up, it's nice and kind of, I say golden brown, but it's kind of turned almost that brick golden red. The fat is nice and soft and rendered. It's liquefied in that pot. That tells me I'm good to go and move forward on my next step. And the next step is the corn. Now I like to put my corn, my onions, and garlic in at this point and start to kind of roast that corn in that hot fat. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do right here. So the corn just kind of dumps right in. I can add the onion right on top of that. Since I've added a bunch of fresh, cold ingredients into that pot, I'm gonna kick my heat up back to high, kind of get that pot recovered. And then I'm just rough chop a couple, 3, 2 or 3 kind of cloves of garlic. We don't need a whole bunch. We're gonna be adding some slap your mama into this recipe in a little bit, and that does have some garlic powder, but I do like the fresh garlic just in addition to kind of build those flavors out. Then from here, I'm not gonna add any salt in here right now. I just wanna stir my corn into that hot fat. Speaking of salt and seasoning, this ham is not only salted and cured, which means it will add salt and flavor, and that's kind of seasoning to this dish, but it also is spiced. So before you start adding anything like slap or hot sauce or even more black pepper, let's get all the ingredients in there. Let's get it starting to cook, and then we can taste and we can adjust our seasonings from there. Once we get an idea of what our ham, our tasso, our smoked sausage, or whatever you're gonna use for this maque choux is given back to the dish. All right, if you're wondering when should I move on to the next step, here's how I like to kind of determine if my corn maque choux is ready to add the rest of my ingredients. First, I'm listening to hear that fat kind of sizzle and crackle and toast that corn. And I'm also looking at those onions. I want those onions to start turning translucent. That means that heat has encountered those onions. They're starting to break down, and I can move on to my peppers, stock, bay leaf, and jalapeno. And the reason why you've heard me talk about this in previous recipes is that these peppers are full of water, and once that heat starts to hit them, that water will leach out and really kind of start to slow down the browning process or the frying process, which is happening right now. So that's why I like to kind of do this in a two-step kind of way. Add my onions first, get them, and onions and corn, get them fried in that fat, and then move on to my bell peppers, which are a little higher in water, but that water is going to leach out and kind of start making that sauce. So it's sounding good, it's looking good. It's time to add my bell peppers. It's equal parts red and green bell pepper. Some jalapeno. I like to keep the seeds in because I like the heat, don't mind that. A couple bay leaves, because almost every Cajun recipe you got to have bay leaves in it. And then 2 cups of chicken stock. If you have the corn stock here, you can hear that stock sizzle in that fat. If you have corn stock here, go ahead and use it. And I like to just stir that in. Now, maque choux is kind of like a smothered style dish. And what I mean by smothered, it's got a fair amount of water in it to begin with. I'm gonna bring that up to a boil. You can see how colorful and pretty that is. It's really a striking dish, especially in the summertime when the corn and peppers are coming up together out of the garden. It really makes for a great dish coming into that pot. I'm gonna just stir that up. Now what I wanna do is I wanna bring it up to a good boil. I'm gonna put a lid on so I can make that a little bit quicker. I'm gonna bring that up to a good boil, but once it boils, I'm gonna slow it down to a simmer and just let that cook for a good 20 minutes, get all that coming together. But remember, I still gotta taste it. Gotta taste your food. But I'm gonna let that come up to a boil, kind of get those flavors coming out before I start adding any extra salt or spice. The corn maque choux has been cooking for about 10-15 minutes, and now's a good time to give it a little taste test. We're kind of really rapid simmering right here. I want to cook that kind of moisture down. I want to have some moisture left in the pot, but mostly this isn't a soup. This wants to be really a solid dish, so we're going to cook that down and concentrate some of that stock. But let's give this a shot. Also understanding that as we concentrate that liquid, the seasoning is going to be concentrated as well, so we don't want to over season it as well. The sweetness of the corn's coming out, the sweetness of the peppers coming out, a little bit of heat from the jalapenos. I can taste that minor saltiness coming from the tasso, so it definitely needs a little bit more seasoning. I'm gonna use salt and pepper, a little slap your mama hot sauce, give it a pinch of salt, a couple good cracks of cracked pepper, some hot sauce really just kind of amps up the acid in it. Just a little bit. And then a little dash of some slap your mama there. Not too much, because I can always kind of continue to season as this pot kind of continues to cook down and all those flavors meld together. But I do want to start developing some of those seasonings in this pot now and then tasting as we go. All right, our maque choux is looking good. It's smelling good. I just gave it a little taste. It's starting to taste really good. One last thing I want to do before I finish reseasoning is I want to garnish or fold in a good heaping full of chopped flat leaf parsley and also some green onions or scallions, as some may call them. So I just like to just very simply just kind of line up those tips, cut those dry tips off, and then you can just go down the line. Nice, just thin, kind of rough, thin slice cut, blah, 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 of some green onions. I like to go all the way down to my whites. I happen to really like the whites more than the greens. For some reason, there's a lot of recipes that just call for the tops of green onions, which I'll never really understand. I feel like the whites have a nice sweet crunch to them without being overly bearing of onion flavor. And so for that reason, I really enjoy having the green onion bottoms and tops in to almost every dish that I cook. Lastly, I'm gonna pinch off a little wad of flat leaf parsley here, and then also give this a nice kind of medium to fine chop. And then from there, if I go to my pot, I can see I have some residual liquid left, but it's almost creamy, and that's because of the fat is emulsifying with all that stock and corn liquor that's being put together. So I'm going to cut this off here. I'm going to grab my bench scraper and get the green onions and parsley and just lay them right in there. Give that a good stir. Now my heat is off here. And then lastly, what I want to do is give it a taste. Before I serve this to anybody, I need to make sure it tastes good to me. If it doesn't taste good to me, it's not going to taste good to anyone else. So let's try that out. Make sure you get a piece of tasso in there to understand how soft or how flavorful that tasso is and kind of what's being added. If somebody would get a perfect bite, when it comes to this step in tasting for reseasoning, your final seasoning, try to get that perfect bite on your spoon to determine how you want to season that dish in its final stages. I like the heat. I don't need any more like Cajun seasoning. I just want a little bit more salt and a little bit more black pepper. I really love the fragrance of that bay leaf in this dish as well. Big fan of bay leaves, not just for what it does to the flavor of a dish, but also when you breathe it in and you smell it and it goes through your sinus cavities, you can really get those aromatics that come out, and bay leaf are so good for doing that. Give it one more taste. That should be good right there. But I mean, seriously, look how pretty this dish is. I mean, if that doesn't say summertime in a pot right there, I don't know what does. It's some of the most iconic summer vegetables right in a pot with some good smoky, salty tasso ham. Man, that is a delicious meal, whether you're eating it over rice or it's a side for a steak or a piece of fish. You got a great dinner ahead of you. All right, one last taste before feeding it to the masses. And by masses, I mean test kitchen. Man, right off the bat, the crunch, the sweetness, the spice, the salty, it's all coming together perfectly in that pot. My name's Chef Jean-Paul, and I am out.